Thank you so much for joining this lesson. Yeah, we shall be looking at grade 7 mathematics. This is in preparation for the Kjsea. So grade 7 work is very sensitive. It is the foundation of junior school. So let's be together as we work out this. The first thing is add 256871 plus 107234. Remember, this level, you're not supposed to use a calculator. But anyway, as long as you're preparing for the Kjsea, at that particular level, you'll be allowed to operate all this with a calculator. But for training purposes, you're supposed to know that you organize all the numbers in the corresponding, what you call corresponding place values. For instance, if it's 2, 5, 6, 8, 7, 1, then you also do the same for the 4 should come here, the 3 here, the 2 aligning with 8, 7, 0, and 1. So they are aligned with corresponding position values like that. Then now you add, you start with the numbers on ones. 1 plus 4, that's 5. 7 plus 3, that's a 10. So you write a 0, carry 1. 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 1, comes 11, carry 1. That is 6 plus 1, 7 plus 7, 14. 4, you carrying 1. 5 plus 1, that's a 6. Then 3. So what are you having at the end of the day? At the end of the day, you are having 364,105. 364, 105. Now this makes C the correct answer. Let's check number 2. And as we continue learning, I should bring to your attention our serious program here for junior school and also for senior school. If you're in junior school, kindly, you are most welcome to our program here. We shall be offering mathematics, English, integrated science, and Kiswahili. So welcome to our platform. You shall be interacting with powerful tutors, powerful facilitators, who will take you through the program. Our number is already attached on the wall, 070415 3366. Please reach out. The program shall be happening via Google Meet from 10th of November to the 12th of December. Those are only 5 weeks. You can see the tuition fee already attached there. Google Meet is very interactive. That is a place where you can ask questions, you can answer questions as you interact with the fellow learners and also with tutors. Look at number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Work out the area of the rectangle below. So we know that area of a rectangle is usually given by length times width. Therefore, for us to get area, you're supposed to know that area equals to length times width. So you're supposed to work with 24 multiplied by 9. Now 24 multiplied by 9, this will give us 216. 216. And because these are centimeters, then we get centimeters squared. You should be very careful. Look at the first option. If you are rushing, you'll find yourself marking A as the right answer. Yet, these are centimeters, and we expect the answer to be in centimeters squared. So please be very careful. Be very careful when working out such a question. Are we together in number 3 now? Okay, simplify. Simplify. This is a part of algebra, expanding of brackets, or rather opening of brackets to expand and simplify. So in the first bracket, you expand by multiplying whatever is just outside the brackets. If it's 6, now you multiply everything by 6. So 6 times 2x, that becomes 12x. Positive 6 by 5, that gives us 30. That gives us 30. Then we have again in the second bracket, we're already having 5 by 3. That's 15x. 5 by 4, that gives us positive 20. This is 15. This is 20. Yeah. After this, now we're supposed to group terms together. If it's x, you group them together. If it's the constants without x, you also group them together. So 12 and 15. 15 is also positive. So that takes us to 27. X. And then 30 and 20, that takes us to 50. Yeah, that takes us to 50. So we are having 27x plus 50. 27 plus 50. Please confirm whether there is an answer like this. That makes B the right answer. A very good question. Looking at number 4 now. Looking at number 4. Yeah, thank you for being around. Please remember to subscribe to Shifting Grades Online School. Remember, when you start following us as early as now, you shall grow with Shifting Grades until grade 12. So all the best in your academic journey. If you're in grade 6, transitioning to 7, if you're in grade 7, transitioning to 8, you are all welcome to Shifting Grades Online School. This is the home of academics. Work out 10 and 1 over 5 raised to power 2. So this is a mixed number. The first thing before we square that we're supposed to do is to change it to an improper fraction, whereby we multiply 5 by 10, that is 50. 50 plus 1, that is 51 out of 5. Then we now square. Squaring a number means multiplying it by itself. Squaring a number means multiplying it by itself over 25. When we multiply 51 by itself, guys, we are getting 26 or 1. And remember, in math now, that's after squaring. Remember, in math, you're not supposed to leave numbers as improper fractions, more so at the final answer. So now we're supposed to know that B is not the final answer. Even if it is a correct expression, it's not the final answer. So we divide by 25. This takes us to 104 and 1 out of 25. So we make it a mixed number like that. 104, 1 over 25. That makes A the right answer in this case. Yeah, the right answer in that case, like that. The distance between Kjsea town and Maseba town is 18 hectometers. What is the distance in centimeters? What is the distance in centimeters? Okay, we know the basic unit of measuring distances is what you call the meter. And we can, we can refer all the measurements to the meter by saying that every measurement can be linked to the meter directly, then now to the other measurement. For example, we're supposed to know that just a minute, we're supposed to know that for every 100 meters, for every, allow me use the space here, for every 100 meters, we have 1 hectometer. For every 100 meters, there is 1 hectometer. What about when the hectometers are 18? How many meters are equivalent to this? We multiply 18 by 100. This is 1800 meters. So we have converted hectometers to the basic unit of measuring length. Then from there now we can say that 1 meter is usually equivalent to 100 centimeters. meaning that when the meters are 1800, to convert them to centimeters, you multiply 1800 by 100. You see now, over 1, eh? See now, this will give us 18, 0, and 3 other zeros, centimeters. So the hectometers, which are 18, have now been converted. And we stick to A as the right option. So I would advise you to please go to the conversion chart. Make sure that you know every multiple of meter or every submultiple of meter. And after you've known them now, be able to link everything to the meter, then after meter to any other unit. For example, 18 hectometers. Instead of cramming a lot of units, just master how every unit of length is linked to the meter. How all of them are linked to the meter. Then meter becomes now the turning point. You take the hectometers to meters, then from meters now to centimeters. Like that. Very simple. Very easy conversion of units. Find the measure of the side marked with a letter. We can see letter Y somewhere there. Letter Y. We are having a right-angled triangle. It's right-angled triangle because of the symbol here. This means 90 degrees. Now, when a triangle is right-angled, the sides are usually related using what we call Pythagoras theorem. Using what we call Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, we usually say this, assuming that we are having Y, then this is X. Assuming this is X. Let me pick another pen here, which is charged. Okay. So let's assume we have Y there. Then what we have here is X, and what we have here is Z. Those are the three sides. Then we should know the longer side, X squared, should be the same as Y squared plus Z squared. So the longer side squared should be equal to the two other sides, the sum of the two shorter sides squared, meaning that X squared is 26 squared, same as Y squared unknown plus Z squared, which is 10 squared. You see, when we take 26 and we square it, we get 676. This is equal to Y squared plus 100. So to remain with Y squared, we subtract 100 and we get 576, meaning that the value of Y, if Y squared equals to 576, this is grouping of terms, ladies and gentlemen. When we take 100 to the left, it shall be subtracted. So 676 becomes 576. The square root of 576 is exactly 24. So the value is 24. Now that these are centimeters, then we stick to C as the final answer. Yeah, C is the final answer and not A. That is application of Pythagoras theorem. Grade 7 work is very easy to understand. So to the guys who are joining grade 7, don't be scared by anything. Math is very simple. Find the distance all around the figure below. In simpler terms, the examiner would still have told you to find the what? To find the perimeter. Find the perimeter. The definition of perimeter is distance round a plane figure. So we are finding perimeter in simpler terms. To find perimeter now means we add everything. We add everything, every length. So you see now we are having a length of 5 here and also a length of 10, meaning that from this point here, we need to add 10 and 5, 15 centimeters, like that. So the whole of that side is 15. Then something else that we are supposed to be able to see is that along this, the whole of this is 18. And we are already having 7 here, meaning that the length that remains on top here is 11. Yeah, 11 and 7 because of this 18. So now if we are supposed to add everything, we'll talk about, we can start with the 11 up there plus the 15, then plus 18. And on the other side, we are having 10, 7, and 5. So we have added all the borders. We have added all the borders in this particular figure. 11, 15, 18, 10, 7, and 5. So all the borders of this figure have been added. This is 26 plus 28 plus 12. I'm getting 66. I'm getting 66, guys. So when you add everything, you get 66. That's on perimeter. Look at this. Look at this. Convert 2.5 meters cubed into centimeters cubed. There is one thing that we're supposed to know here. This is again conversion of the units of volume. We know that 1 meter we know that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. Meaning that if 1 meter is cubed, then we are supposed to cube the equivalence of centimeters. So when you cube the centimeters that are equal to 1 meter, it becomes, you multiply 100 times 100 times 100. So you get 6 zeros like that. So now we are saying 1 cubic meter equals to 1 million cubic centimeters, meaning that to convert 2.5, which is 2.5 now, we need to multiply by 1 million. So 2.5 times 1 million times 1 million, like that. So what does this give us? When you times by a million, 2.5 times 1m, this is 2.5 million. $2.5 million. So you're supposed to be very careful with the zeros. The zeros are 5. I can see part D is already correct. This is wrong. Since I exist. Here they have written cubic meter. So D is the right answer, guys. D is the right answer. So you're supposed to convert without even struggling with your conversion. Are we looking at part 9? Number 9 now. An aeroplane took 180 minutes to fly from Nairobi to Kisumu. From Nairobi to Khartoum, From Nairobi to Khartoum, all right? How many hours did it? How many hours did it take to cover the distance? How many hours did it take to cover the distance? We are supposed to convert 180 minutes into hours. We are supposed to convert minutes to hours. We usually say that every 1 hour is having 60 minutes. Every 1 hour is having 60 minutes. Then what about 180 minutes? How many hours are there? How many hours are there? If every 60 minutes is 1 hour, how many hours are in 180 minutes? So we convert this very quickly. Say 180 times 1 over 60. 180 times 1 out of 60. 180 times 1 over 60. This is going to give us 3 hours. From Nairobi to Khartoum, we have 3 hours. Khartoum is a capital city in, is it Sudan? Somewhere there. Yes. Looking at number 10 now. Mwanaisha bought a blanket for 2,800 Kenya shillings. She later sold the blanket for 2,450 Kenya shillings. What was our percentage loss? What was our percentage loss? Can we find the loss first? Can we find the loss first? Loss is given by buying price minus selling price. The buying price was 2800. The selling is now 2450. So this is the loss incurred by Mwanaisha. 2800 minus 2450, giving us 350. Yeah, 350. So now we're supposed to say that loss is given by buying price minus selling price, but percentage loss is given by loss out of buying price expressed as a percentage, whereby we just multiply by 100. So we need 350 out of 2800 times 100. 12.5%, or rather 12.5. 12.5%, you see, 12.5%. So that is how number 10 is supposed to be done. That's on money, or rather commercial arithmetic. Commercial arithmetic. Yeah. Commercial arithmetic. We can proceed to number 11. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share so that you may invite a friend to this powerful broadcast. Make sure you're learning something. Make sure you're learning something. To interact more with our forum, kindly remember that 07 04 15 33 66 is our consultation line, and we have our serious program here running from the 10th of November to the 12th of December. Those are 5 weeks with a registration fee or a tuition fee of only 3,000 through the line 0704 15 3366. This interaction shall be happening via Google Meet. So you are all welcome. You are all welcome. Look at the timetable. Imagine how you will be interacting with thousands and hundreds of other learners through Shifting Grades, a very impactful, interactive, and transformative platform. So please welcome, talk to your parent, talk to your friends, talk to your guardian. Make sure you are sponsored for this. If you are in junior school, you're welcome. If you are in secondary school, your program is very parallel. We have teachers for all the sessions. We have enough facilitators for all the sessions. So kindly welcome and all the best as you continue growing in your academics. Now in number 11, evaluate 4 2/3 minus 3 1/4. Remember, you're supposed to first convert every mixed number into improper fractions. So 4 2/3 becomes 4 by 3, that's 12, plus 2, 14, over 3, minus 3 1/4 becomes 3 by 4, 12, plus 1, 13, over 3. A 13 over 4, sorry. 13 over 4. 13 out of 4. 13 over 4. 13 is out of 4. So that now we talk about the LCM of the two denominators. The LCM of the two denominators. This is 4. So what is the LCM? What is the LCM of the two denominators? The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. Then to proceed here, you take 12 and you divide by the first denominator. 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3, that gives us 4. Then 4 should multiply 14 minus 12 divided by 4. The next denominator, that gives us 3. Then 3 should multiply 13. 3 should multiply 13. This is equal to 4 by 14, that is 56. 3 by 13, that is 39. Everything over 12. When we take 56 minus 39, we get 17 out of 12. So 17 out of 12, when you divide, 12 will be 1 because of 12. Then 17 minus 12, that will be 5. We have an answer like 1 and 5 over 12. 1 and 5 over 12. 1 and 5 out of 12. So that is it. Can we check number 12 now? Yes. What is the total value of digit 4 in the number given? Digit 4 in the number given. When we talk about total value, it means we are supposed to take the number times the position it occupies. So this is tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So it means 0.00. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, hundreds of thousands times 4. Hundreds of thousands times 4. The position times the digit. Hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. So this is a 0.0004. No, that makes A the right answer. That makes A the right answer. Number 13. Jamila is paid a commission of 10% of the value of goods she sells. In 1 month, she sold goods worth 160,000 Kenya shillings. How much commission did she get? How much commission did she get? Commission is the amount given to an agent when they sell goods or when they make goods. In other words, agents are paid a percent of the sales they make. So when we talk about now, 10%, it's 10 over 100 off 10% of the value of goods. So the goods were worth 160. See, you cancel 2 zeros with 2 zeros. So we get 16 and 3 zeros. 160 or 16,000, making C the right answer. Making C the right answer. Number 14. Find the volume of the cylindrical container below. One thing that we're supposed to know, for every regular shape, there is a formula for the volume. For every regular shape, there is a formula for its volume. And when it comes to a cylinder, for us to get volume, we need the cross-sectional area times the height. So volume equals to cross-sectional area times height. Remember, the cross-sectional area is circular. So a circular area is given by pi r squared, then times now the height. Cross-section area times height. The pi that is recommended, actually, it's good for you to know, the neck pi, according to CBE, the neck pi is 3.142. So please get used to the pi. 3.142, 1, 4, 2, multiplied by, the radius here is 28. So 28 should be squared. Then we multiply by the height, which is exactly 30. When we compute these, what are we supposed to get? 3.142 times 28 squared times 30. I'm getting 73,000. 73,899.84. 899.84. Okay. I don't see an answer which is exactly like this one. What if we change the pi to 22 over 7 anyway, just for this question? 22 out of 7 multiplied by r, 28 squared, multiplied by 30. This gives us 73,920. This gives 73,920, which is still not featuring anywhere. So that is the right answer. Whenever you're doing a multiple choice question and you fail to see the right answer that you get, it's always recommended. It is always recommended for you to just write the answer if you're very sure about what you're doing. Pi r squared times height. So that should be the right answer. Work out the square root of 0.14. The square root of 0.14. This can first be changed to a fraction, whereby it is 16 over 100. Then you find square root. What is the square root of? The square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 100 is 10. So 4 over 10 is 0.4. 0.4, making D the right answer. 0.4. 0.4 is the right answer. What about number 16? There is still section 2, but we are going to finish just in a while. form a compound inequality from x greater than 4 and x less than 8. So x is greater than 4. Look at that logical statement. X is greater than 4 and x is also less than 8. So x is in between 4 and 8. So you're supposed to say 4, x, 8. The only other statement that can be true, apart from 4 less than x and x less than 8, 4 less than x and x less than 8, making A the right answer. The only answer that can also be true, the only answer that can stand the same chance could have been when you start with 8, but you now change the symbol. But you now change the symbol like that. That could still have been correct. That would still have been correct. Workout. 10.64 divided by 0.16. You know, this means 1064 over 16. Then you simplify. Then you simplify whatever is common. 1064 over 16. This gives us 66 and a half. 66 and a half. Like that, 66 and a half, like that. Number 18, solve. That means we work out the value of W. Unless I don't understand the question, but let's look at it closely. Solving means we can group terms together first. 11W equals 2. We are having 9, and now 13 should become positive here. So 11W equals to 22. 11W equals to 22. That's a true statement already. 11W equals to 22. 11W equals to 22. Because when you proceed to solve, for you to remain with W, you divide through by 11. When you divide through by 11, 22 over 11 should be 2. 22 over 11 should be 2. So the value of W is actually 2. So the final answer should be B, because we're supposed to finish up here. So we can't leave the answer. We can't leave it hanging like that. So the value of W equals to 2. That is the most simplified expression. Number 19. What is the least prime factor of what is the least prime factor? Generally, the least prime factor is usually 2. 2 is the least prime factor, and it is also the only prime factor which is also even. And for that case, we will say that the right answer here is 2. Because when you look at 108, it's already an even number. So when you start factoring, when you start factorizing it, you must factorize 2 from it. If 2 must be factorized, then it becomes the least prime factor in that number. So you don't need to factorize for you to know the answer. You need to observe. You need to observe the nature. You need to observe the nature of the number. It's even. It's even like that. So 2 becomes the least. Arrange the following fractions in ascending order. One thing that you're supposed to know is that to arrange fractions in ascending order, okay, there are very many approaches to that, but I would advise you to do this. Convert all of them to percentages, then compare now which percentage is greater than which one. For example, 1/3, you multiply each by 100. 1/3 times 100. You know, this becomes 33.33%. Then 2/5 times 100. This gives us 40%. Then 3/4, that becomes 75%. And half is usually 50. We are supposed to arrange them in ascending order, meaning you start from the least all the way to the highest. So the least one is the one that corresponds to 33.33, and that is 1/3. So we start with 1/3. The next one is the one that corresponds to 40, 2/5. Then the next one is half, which is a 50%. And finally, 3/4, which represents 75%. Starting with 1/3, ending with 3/4. Starting with 1/3, ending with 3/4 in that order. So I will work with D as the final answer. Please agree with me. Please agree with me. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, remember to comment, remember to like, remember to share, remember to invite people. You meet a friend who is just there without, any form for this particular holiday. Meet them and refer them to Shifting Grades. Give them our contacts. Let them reach out through 0704153366. Let them know about our good programs. Let them know what we are doing out here. Let them know that this is the best platform for any learner who wants to grow. Google Meet, that is where we shall be meeting from the 10th of November to the 12th of December, 2025. Feel most welcome. You are most welcome to these particular classes. Very interactive, impactful, and transformative. Can we transition to part B? Let's see the 30 marks in part B. So these are called structured questions, where you're supposed to organize your work very well. Very well, very well. You organize your work decently. So now we are having a box. A box was tied using a string, which is 3 meters, 85 centimeters long. Then another box was tied with a string, 4 meters, 75 centimeters. What is the total length of the strings used to tie the boxes? This is now addition of the units of length. Addition of the units of length. And what you're supposed to know is that you can convert the units so that you may add similar units. Then later you convert them back appropriately, or you add them just as they are. Let me show you the two workings that I'm talking about. You can just take 3 meters. These are meters. Then you are having centimeters here. 85, like that. Then 4 meters and 75. Then you add. So addition of the units of length. Addition of the units of length. So 85 plus 75. You know, this is 160 centimeters. And in 160 centimeters, we are already having a meter there. So we can remain with the 60 centimeters. And the 100 becomes 1 meter. So that now we carry it to this part. 3 plus 1 plus 4. That makes it 8. So we have 8 meters. 60 centimeters. That is one approach. Alternatively, how else can you do this? Alternatively, ladies and gentlemen, we can talk about converting all these to similar units. For example, centimeters, everything to centimeters. So the 300 meters becomes, the 3 meters becomes 300 centimeters plus 85. So we have 385 centimeters. Then the second length becomes 400 for the 4 meters plus 75. We get 475. Then now, when you add, what you shall get shall be in centimeters. So 385 plus 475. This gives us 860. These are all centimeters. These are all centimeters. So remember, with 860, and they are all centimeters, you can now convert and say for the 8 complete 100, there's 8 meters, then 60 centimeters. So you can make them similar units so that you add without struggling. You just add directly. 860 centimeters. 860 centimeters like that. Look at number 22. Illustrate the inequality on a number line. X greater than or equal to 3. Greater than or equal to, master that on a number line anyway. So with a number line, you must have the negatives, you must have the positives, and you must have the 0. 0, -1, -2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the values are increasing towards the right, like that. What you're supposed to know is that the values of x are greater than 3 or equal to 3. So you make a circle at 3 and you shed because of or equal to. Then now you have an arrow for the values of x. So x is any value, either a 3 or greater than. So to the right hand side. Now, if it was x strictly greater than this way, x greater than 3, we would not have shaded. If it was x less than 3, we would have gone to the left. Those are the basics that you're supposed to be knowing whenever you are handling this particular inequalities. 23, a dining table is in the shape of a square of area 6.25 meters squared. What is the length of a tablecloth that would be used to cover the table? So we are used, okay, let's assume that this particular table is not going to have an overlap. It shall not have any overlap. So the cloth that will be placed on the table will simply lie on the measurements of the table. So we are supposed to work now on what you call square rooting. So if the area is given, then it means area of a square means side squared. So give us 6.25. So to get a side, we take square root of the area then. Square root of the area. So square root of 6.25. 6.25, like that. There are very many methods you can use to find square roots. So 625 can be made a whole number out of 100. Then now we obtain square root. What is square root of 625? We get 25. What is the square root of 100? We get 10. Then now the final answer, which is the length, can be given as 2.5 meters or 2.5 meters. Yeah, like that. A very good question. Angles and plane figures. Angles and plane figures. Number 24. What is the value of K in the figure below? What is the value of K in the figure below? What you are supposed to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to ensure that you understand along a straight line, the angles there should add up to 180. So when we take the angle measuring 15, we add to the next angle, which is K, and we also add to the next angle, which is 55. We are supposed to get 180. So we can add in advance 50 and 55 to give us K plus 105 equals to 180. And how do we remain with K? By subtracting 105 to the other side. So the value of K now shall be exactly 75. So the value of K is 75 degrees. Remember, if it was angles at a point, we would have said that they add up to 360. But now that it's just along a straight line, then we will talk of 180. Talk of 180 like that. Very simple work. Very, very simple work. We check the next, which is now number 25. Now, a plot of land is in the shape of a rectangle measuring 108 meters by 248 meters. Okay. Trees are planted along its sides at equal intervals. What is the greatest distance between the trees? What is the greatest distance between the trees? We want a uniform interval that would be uniform for both 108 and also 240. So the greatest one will be the greatest divisor for both 108 and also 248. So that is the GCD, 108 and 248. Greatest divisor or highest common multiple. The highest common multiple of these numbers. We can look at the least prime factor for both of them, which is 2. 2 divided by 108, we get, is it 52, 54? 108 over 2. Yeah, we get 54. Okay, so we get 54. This is 54. Then 248 also divide by 2. That's 124. So I think 2 can still divide again. Divide by 2. 54 divided by 2 becomes 27, right? It becomes 27. What about 124 divided by 2? It becomes 62. Up to that point, I can now conclude that there are no more common prime factors because 62 cannot be divided by 3. 62 can be divided by 2, but 27 cannot. Therefore, we are done with all common divisor. So 2 by 2 gives us 4 meters as the interval. 4 meters is the interval. Yeah, that will. Work out 5 divided by. Wow, this is another interesting question in number 26 on divisions of the units of length. 17 decameters divided by 5. You know, when you divide 15, you divide the 17 by 5, you'll go 3 times because of 15, and you remain with 2 dm. 2 dm, that's capital DM, converted to meters should be multiplied by 10. So that now with the meters, you have 20 plus 8. So this now becomes 28. Then divide by 5. We go by 5 times, these are DM. So by 5 times, we get 25. The balance is 3 meters. The 3 meters should be converted to decameters, whereby we multiply the meters by 10 now. When you multiply by 10, this now becomes 35. So this is meters now. 5 divided by 35, we get 7 dm. So the answer is 3 decameters. 5 meters and 7 dm. Division of the units of length. The same technique is applied whenever you are dividing, the units of mass and any other units. As long as you know how the units are interrelated, then you are good to go. Now, the temperature of water was 18 degrees Celsius. It was heated until its temperature rose to 54 degrees Celsius. What was the rise in temperature in Kelvin? What was the rise in temperature in Kelvin? So rise in temperature should just be the difference between the initial and the final. Actually, I want to give you a funny working here. If we take 54 and we subtract, 18, what are you getting? These are degrees Celsius. 54 minus 18, you get 36 Kelvin. Okay, 36 degrees Celsius. And this will translate to 36 Kelvin. The change in temperature that you get in degrees Celsius should also be the change in temperature in Kelvin. But anyway, because I know you want us to convert, then let us convert. So when we take the initial temperature, is alternative working. Initial temp, 18, we add 273, so that we convert to the Kelvin scale. So 18 plus 273, this gives us 291 Kelvin. Then the final temperature, this shall be 54 plus 273. This gives us 54 plus 273. This gives us 327 Kelvin. Then when we talk about the change in temperature, or rather the rise in temperature, the change, which is a rise. For this case, we need to talk about the final minusing the initial. This automatically will also give us 36 Kelvin. The reason why we would have gotten the same answer using degrees Celsius is because there is a common constant being added to both of them to give us the temperature in Kelvin. And because it's addition, then when you add and later subtract, you know they are increasing in the same interval. 18 will increase in the same interval 54 shall increase with. So 36 is the answer, whether you subtract before converting or you subtract after converting. You get the same interval of change. Yeah, as we continue working, guys, we can now look at number 28. Find the next fraction in the sequence below. Find the next fraction in the sequence below. Okay, we have a sequence here, guys. We have a sequence here, which is 2 and 1 over 7, then 2 and... we have a 2 and 3 over 7. Then we are also having a 2 and 5 over 7. Then the next fraction is 3 and... Okay, maybe it's 3. Let's look at the next. Let's look at the next fraction in this number. So we can check whether there is a certain addition here. Is there a common addition? When we take 2 and 3 over 7, then we subtract 2 and 1 over 7. You discover that from the first to the next, we added 2 over 7. What about to the next? 2 and 5 over 7. 2 and 5 over 7, then minus 2 and 3 over 7, the previous number. You discover again there was an addition of 2 over 7. So that means for us to get the next number, then it means we are also adding 2 over 7. So the first assignment was to identify the pattern. Identify the pattern in the particular sequence. So we need 2 and 5 out of 7 plus 2 over 7. So first we can convert the first mixed number. 2 by 7, that's 14, 19 over 7. Plus 2 over 7. So this is 7, the LCM. So we will have 19 plus 2. 19 plus 2. You see 19 plus 2 will give us 21 out of 7, which is exactly 3. Okay, they had written the 3 here. Yeah. So now that means there should be a comma here so that we may identify the next. So 3 plus 2 over 7 also. 3 plus 2 over 7. Guys, 3 plus 2 over 7 will give us a final answer of 3 and 2 out of 7. 3 and 2 over 7 becomes our answer. 3 and 2 over 7. Yeah, 3 and 2 over 7. 3 and 2 over 7. Number 29. We're almost winding up, guys. We are finishing at number 30. So relax and hold on. Relax and hold on. Mary bought goods worth 25,000. He later sold the goods for 28,000 Kenya shillings. What was our percentage profit? You know, in such a question, first, we're supposed to know how do we get profit first? Profit should be given by selling price minus buying price. Profit equals to selling price minus the buying price. So at this point, we talk about 28,000 minus 25,000, giving us a profit of 3,000 Kenya shillings. Then after 3,000 Kenya shillings, the profit, then we say percentage profit is usually given by profit over buying price. Profit over buying price times 100. Yeah. So let's now talk about 3,000 out of 25,000 times 100. This is now equivalent to 12%. 12% like that. So we get 12%. 12%. Finally, number 30. We are winding up, guys. Number 30. As we wind up, we can see a cuboid there. You can see a cuboid in number 30. Let's check some more instructions. Find the volume of the cuboid. Find the volume of the cuboid. Find the volume of the cuboid below. Volume of a cuboid is usually given by length times width times height. This is going to be 90 times 80 times 50. 90 times 80 times 50. 90, 80, 50. Giving us 360 centimeters cubed. So this is now the value of the volume of this particular cuboid. Thank you so much for following. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share so that you may invite other people to our serious broadcast. Remember also to invite people to our serious program here. First, you are most welcome, the followers of Shifting Grades Online School. Remember to just call us. We are a call away. We are a text away. We are a WhatsApp message away. Reach out through 0704 15 3366 so that you may know much about our programs. Thank you. See you next time.